I've just entered the gate of the person I'm going to interview today. And here she comes. This is her home, a beautiful home in Shihambi in Kakamega County. Hello. Hi.
How are you?
I'm so happy to meet you.
Good to meet you. You're most welcome to Shihambi.
Thank you.
This is my home,
Yeah.
the Kakamega townhouse.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, because the rural home is there. But
Where?
in Kakamega here, this is just a townhouse where I started working in Kakamega in 1993.
Okay.
When I just left university, I tarmacked for 2 years,
Uh-huh.
then landed a job,
Okay. Landed a job with which people?
Kenya Wildlife Service.
Okay.
And I worked with them in Kakamega up to 96. I was transferred to Mount Elgon, went to Nairobi after that again on transfer. Then after that, I left for Constitution of Kenya Review Commission.
Okay, let's get it right first, yeah?
Yes.
So the first time you landed here in Kakamega with Kenya Wildlife Societies, that's when you
Service.
acquired this land?
No, I acquired it after working for 1 year. I started by staying in a rented place.
Yeah.
Then my first loan, as an somebody was just left university and you wish to be like others. I decided to invest in a plot.
Wow.
That was in 1994. Recall, I was employed in 1993, joined a SACCO.
Wow.
Then in 1994, I took a loan.
Yeah.
That loan compared to now,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it was very little.
How much was that?
This plot, I acquired it at 80,000 shillings.
How big is the plot?
Quarter an acre.
Wow.
The place was quite rocky.
Yeah.
Most of the hardcore that I've used in this particular place, any structure you see here, the hardcore was harvested on site.
Just before we get into your house, I think I want you to say something to the young people about that action that you have just talked
To
about.
the young people, what I can say is that when you are employed today, it is important to start seeing into the future. Visualize ahead as you eat, as you drink, that is okay. Even if you put on the latest fashion, you are not supposed to walk naked.
Okay.
But remember, there is a rainy day. And that rainy day, you don't need to be paying rent.
I'm so happy that you did this in your first year of employment.
True.
I'm happy.
I finished 93.
Yes.
Then 94, I acquired. To be exact, it was in 1994, November. I had put some money in the SACCO, so I qualified to take a loan.
You're definitely going to tell us more on that.
Thank you.
I've just arrived in Anne's home. She's welcomed me. You can see the house behind me.
Wonderful.
And she is a YouTuber just like me. Please tell us what name you go by on YouTube.
On YouTube, I go by Questing for Success. That is the name of the channel.
What do you do on Questing for Success?
The channel normally talks, mainly the niche is alcohol and substance abuse, but it is not permanent. Because alcohol and substance abuse has so many other issues that come with it in terms of challenges. For example, you get teenage pregnancies. So I sometimes talk about teenage pregnancies being as a result of one having taken one too many, doesn't know herself, gets into the family way, and there it is, and you're not yet able to fend for that child, and you yourself, you are still a child, you are below 18.
Please subscribe to Questing for Success, her channel, as you subscribe to Grandma Frida. Welcome. So the first time your first employment was?
Kenya Wildlife Service. But then the SACCO's name was KEWISCO, which stands for Kenya Wildlife Service Cooperative Organization. I served with them and then qualified to get a loan which I would repay back for 3 years. So that loan was 80,000. Being a graduate, my salary was 14,000. That time, graduates, we used to start in job group H.
Okay.
That is where I started in 1993. So after some time, the government realized drivers were also in the same job group, and they were driving DOs, the district officers. So they changed now graduates to move to job group K after some time. But with that 14,000 I was earning in 1993, I managed to save 2,000 per month in the cooperative. And after some time, I qualified to take a loan of 80,000. And that 80,000, I decided to invest it in this land. After paying for the particular portion of land, there's the process of the title deed, the surveyor, then the title deed. All those are fees you pay. I got my title deed and then planted trees. The perimeter wall you see is just the other day that it was put up. It was all trees. I had grevillea and other agroforestry species trees.
Okay.
That is how I acquired this plot and started by building elsewhere. My husband was in the US that time. And then when he came back, he did not like the fact that we did not have electricity in Shihambi. So he preferred us to stay in a place which has electricity and piped water. So again, he bought a plot elsewhere in a place called Kormatangi. And that is where we put up a 4-bedroom house plus study room. Of course, it has the kitchen, it has the pantry, and we started our life.
Where is Kormota?
Next to Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology, as you drive on Webuye, Kakamega Webuye Road.
Okay, I can see you're very inspirational. A young girl from the university,
Yes.
What inspired you or motivated you into thinking about buying land at that young age?
It's because in life, you must think about tomorrow. And tomorrow comes in different ways. Remember, you are having children. How will you pay their fees when you are also paying rent? So you should look at it from that point of view. If you can have your own roof, then it removes the rental aspect from you.
Okay.
So the rainy day in the future can be the school fees. And I recall when I was at university, we used to be given pocket money, famously known as boom. But these days, when you take a child to the university, there is pay as you eat. Then you must get accommodation for the child. It's not like that time. I joined university in 88 and left in 91. It's not like that time of 88, 91 where you would get a free mattress, a free room, you bathe hot water, and you go and you are given a proper meal. For example, if it's breakfast, you either take an egg or sausage. You have jam, you have the marmalades. Then there were 4 slices of bread, and you had the option to request for toasted toast.
Okay.
So that is the tomorrow I'm talking about. So these days, which is the tomorrow and now, I have a son at Strathmore, and I'm paying for the hostel and fees, that is the tuition and exam.
Okay.
It ends at tuition and exam. That's what Strathmore is interested in. How the child will be accommodated, it is you, the parent. If you take a child to the University of Nairobi, it is the same.
So, fine. Here you are, a young lady. You have already bought land. You are working with the Kenya Wildlife Services. Give us that journey. It's quite interesting.
After I left the Kenya Wildlife Service, that was in the year 2001, I joined the Constitution of Kenya Review Commission. Remember, Kenya was at one time making the Constitution. So I joined CKRC, Constitution of Kenya Review Commission.
Yes.
And in CKRC, I was made the district coordinator, Butere Mumias. My marriage was having some hiccups because of the distance. I was based in Nairobi and Mr. was based in Kakamega. So I got a job in Butere Mumias. That time it was used to be called Butere Mumias as one district. And as the district coordinator, I just used to commute. The distance was not much. I used to commute from Kakamega. The offices were based in Mumias because in the constitution making process, they said it's only the municipal council or the county council which could host the offices of the constitution making process. So at grassroots level, it's Mumias Municipal Council that hosted me.
Okay.
So that's why I was based in Mumias. And of course, Mumias had more facilities than Butere.
That
it had
time.
the bank. CKRC had to open an account. I couldn't keep the money for the government in the house. So
and that time you are a family lady, you are a mother. Where are the children?
With the 2 children, and I got one when I was with CKRC, the 3rd. After we settled, recall, life is not a straight journey. After CKRC, there was a gap. After Bomas, they went to Bomas to continue the decision-making process, but they felt views had been collected in the country. So the district coordinators were terminated. Our contracts ended. I was on contract. I got my payment, and then I got a job with G4S as training manager. I was with G4S, and then CKRC decided to recall the former district coordinator, all of them. Again, being married, I did not like staying in Nairobi. So the G4S job ended, and I came back to pick the CKRC job again as district coordinator. Then I was with them. After the referendum, I recall there was the Orange and the Ndizi. If you were to vote for the constitution, yes, it was Ndizi as the sign.
That's the banana.
The brand, yes. And the brand for no was
an orange. Okay.
So after that, again, I went back to Tarmac. And at that time, Kenya's quest for the constitution was still on. So committee of experts on constitutional review came up. It came up when I was doing my master's. At that time, I decided to go back to school at Masinde Muliro because I was just staying in Kakamega, and they gave me a job as the provincial coordinator.
What were you doing? What were you studying for your master's?
Master of Science in Human Resource Management. I was then the class rep, and I even graduated alone in 2011. After a record 2 years, the rest of the class were 13. One passed on. I graduated alone, and the remaining graduated much later. Some as late as after 6 years.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay.
So after committee of experts, as I was graduating with my master's, the university offered me a teaching job on a part-time basis, and I was teaching. And then I had done an interview in Nairobi again. So when then the results came in, I had just qualified. They came after such a long spell. I did the interview in October. The results came out in May. That's about 7 months. And I decided to leave the part-time job and pick the World Bank funded project job. So I was with a project called Western Kenya Community Driven Development and Flood Mitigation Project. I think you've been hearing about flooding in Budalangi. So we were dealing with mitigation. It was in 5 counties, namely Kakamega, Vihiga, Siaya, Busia, and Bungoma. So those were the counties for the project.
And where were you based that time?
Head office in Nairobi. I was heading the Human Resources and Administration Department. And it was real work, hands-on. You have one assistant who is more in records, the manual records of keeping the files. But the nitty-gritties, it is you. Skeleton staff. And I had about 400 staff.
So how long did that take you?
5 years.
Okay.
5 years. And in the 5 years, ladies, if you're watching, gentlemen, if you're watching, I managed to buy a 4-acre piece of land in Lugari. And this particular house, I put it up using what is famously known in Kenya as night out. I used to be paid allowance to go to the field, and we were perpetually in the field. For example, I would come for as long as 3 weeks. That is 21 days. If you are I was in job group R. 21 days in Kakamega is about 10,000. So you are paid 10,000 times 21. That is 210,000. It will be enough to put cement here, to put ballast here, and to do 1 or 2 things until this particular house became what it is. That is per diem.
Wow.
Money to keep you out because you've been sent in the field for duty. Sometimes you could be the missions doing the monitoring and the evaluation for the project with the World Bank team. They've come, some from Washington, some from Nairobi, etc. all over. So such a team, being a head of department, you hate to join them. My employer was Government of Kenya, funding 85% World Bank, 15% Government of Kenya.
Okay.
So my employer was Government of Kenya for the World Bank funded project, please. After that, I managed to fence my farm in Lugari. I'm a fan of trees, so I planted about 430 seedlings of grevillea, some around the boundary of the farm, and others I demarcated what would be one day a house. So I managed to do that with that salary at the World Bank. Recall, I said this particular house was not a loan. It was from allowances. That is how I got to build. Salary chips in, but the loans I was repaying was for the farm. that I
Okay.
had bought in Gari.
Yeah.
It was not cheap.
Yeah, and I can see apart from this house, yeah, what is this side for?
Those are houses. The first one you can see here, immediate, is for my son, my first son, and the second is for my other son. The third is a store. It is more of like I go down because there's a friend who is building around and has kept some material there. I have just assisted her with that house.
Wow.
The project for the World Bank ended in 2016. That is the entire project. It had a lifespan of 8 years and it reached its end. In fact, we had 1 year of suspension. So I can say it took slightly longer, but we were there for 8 years. I went on board when the project was already ongoing. So when it ended, I had some money. I vied to be a women rep, Kakamega County. Of course, I lost. My success was postponed. That's how we put it in politics. You don't say you lost.
Oh.
You say your success was postponed.
You're so ambitious.
So my success was postponed,
Mhm.
and the party, that is the political party I belong to, which is Amani National Congress, felt I had really invested in publicity of the party. And they rewarded me. How? They gave me a nomination to sit in the Kakamega County Assembly as a nominated member of the County Assembly and a gender top-up. The Constitution provides for gender top-up as an affirmative action to help women reach somewhere until they learn how to feed for themselves by looking for the seats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell us your achievement then as a member of
Kakamega
County Assembly?
One, in the assembly, I was representing the minority party or parties, that is the coalition of parties under minority, in the County Assemblies Forum, which is a forum that brings all the 47 counties together. The body has, per assembly, it has one lady, one man. The man should not, it must be either gender, and one must represent minority, one majority, and then the speaker. So 3 times 47 counties. So that is the forum I'm talking about. And my achievement at assembly, that was to get to represent them there. Then economically, I managed to finish the education for, my son was doing engineering, he had not yet finished. And my daughter had just completed, she was at the Kenya School of Law, she was still looking for a job, and she was lucky she landed.
In terms of achievements for the community, the Kakamega County,
I was nominated by the party.
Yeah.
I did not have a ward.
Okay.
When you are nominated, you don't have a ward, you are wardless.
Okay.
So I was nominated under Mumias West constituency, that is the constituency of Bath. And I've been taking care of some children, particularly where I stay here at Shihambi. I've taken some to school.
Beautiful.
With my money, somebody has made it, but the parents can't afford. I've been paying fees for the children.
Thank you.
In day schools, that's where my pocket could afford.
Thank you.
And you ensure they're there.
Thank you.
And also, as a person, I have tried to help some of my relatives get education. They may not be far, but my hands touched them.
Okay.
And also, in terms of community, in terms of achievement, I've been contributing, particularly in Harambes. We have different, Harambee is a slogan in Kenya, where you pull forces together to undertake a certain project. So when an MCA, I recall the MCA from Mumias West, where I'm born, was called Honorable Danga. If Odanga could call me, like, for example, the Muslims are having the festive, that period when they normally fast, chip in, I would chip in. Then if it came to some school needs some latrines, I could contribute towards the building. So that's how I contributed to the community. And if he was here, I would have attested to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very beautiful story here. You are an MCA, you've contributed. Where next are you taking us?
Thank you. Freda, I must say, when they voted in 2022, August, that is when my job ended. My contract ended. We got a new team, and the party rewarded others this time. I must say the party did a very good job, because it can't be one person year in, year out. So I became unemployed when they were sworn in, And I thank God that the job helped me. The perimeter wall you can see here was put up when with my salary at the assembly. After assembly, there was gratuity. I got about 1.8 million as my gratuity. Then that is LAP fund. We save with LAP fund when you are at the assembly. So as an individual, I had also saved some money, and then that is what I'm using currently to educate my son at Strathmore. It's not so cheap. And also to stay such that you can see me the way you are seeing me. I'm not that miserable, but I can assure you, when you get something constant per month, is different from when you get a lump sum of 1.8 and then that is the end of the tap. You need to plan very well. So I've also been doing YouTube. I'm not yet monetized, but my channel is on alcohol and substance misuse, and it is called Questing for Success.
Such a wonderful story, Anne. Are you on pension after working in all these projects?
No, I'm not on pension. I used to be paid gratuity, and my gratuity, it does come, money comes, you try to invest it here and there. And probably, I must say, the assembly helped me build my house in Lugari. It's a 3-bedroom house.
Is that from your salary?
That is from both salary. We had mortgage as an allowance. I got my 2 millions of mortgage, and I added some money because the entire house costed me about 7 millions.
Okay.
And because I have a roof now over my head in Lugari, I do farming for survival.
Okay.
So on farm, you'll get, for example, I farm maize, I farm beans. I right now, if you went on the farm, you'll see sunflower, you'll see that been intercropped with some groundnuts and some beans because we were anticipating the Nino rain. So I seized that opportunity to use the short rains in anticipation of the Nino rains. I planted that. That's still on farm. They'll be harvested about around 15th of January. Though the rains have gone down right now, I must say the crop was not affected negatively. We have sweet potatoes.
Yes.
Not all of them can be consumed. Recall, when the children leave, the mouths to feed reduce. So I have poultry on the farm, and that is how I'm surviving.
Okay.
I'm also on Redbubble. I do make some items for putting sublimation, for putting on t-shirts, caps, name them.
Okay, Anne, I've realized from the talk we've had that you are not on pension, but you've been getting gratuity. In your own personal view, as somebody who has experienced this, yeah, what is the best? Is it gratuity or pension?
The best would be pension, particularly the contributory pension, where the employer contributes a certain percentage and you're given a certain percentage. Then that money is invested. You can even add the very minimum set, depending on your finances and the net pay, you can add something on top. It goes into investment. That would be the best. No, and if you're on gratuity and you keep on changing employers, then it may not be self-sustaining at all. Because today you have the gratuity. Then tomorrow.
How are you managing something like medical for yourself and for family?
All my children, by the way, apart from the one in Strathmore, the rest are on their own schemes and that are outside the threshold for the age of NHIF. So the National Hospital Insurance Fund is what is sustaining me. And I'm lucky that I've not been having a lot of medical issues. Just once in a while, it's when I go to the doctor. And I pay 500 shillings per month as someone who is in the informal sector. That is the minimum you pay.
Okay.
Now, I weighed going, for example, to an insurance, which will take, let's say, between 250 and 500,000. The kind of medical schemes I used to be on when I was employed. I felt it was not sustainable because after the gratuity, if I start paying 500 per year or even 250 per year, for how long? Because the income that is steady per month is not known.
Okay.
So that's why I chose NHIF. And so far, I'm okay. I'm doing well with NHIF. I pay 3 months in advance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know at one point you will retire. What is your dream for in retirement?
My dream in retirement is to travel and continue taking YouTube videos as I travel. For sure, having worked with the tourism industry, that is Kenya Wildlife Service, I traveled extensively in the country. But record alcohol substance misuse goes beyond Kenya.
Okay.
And if economics allow, I'd wish to reach other parts of the world.
Okay. Have you traveled before outside
Yes.
Kenya?
Yeah, in my line of duty mainly, and only once privately. The last country I was in was, what do you call this? Morocco. That was the last country I was in. I've been to Germany. I've been to Tanzania, Uganda. I've been to Rwanda. So those are some of the countries I've been. When I was to go to Britain, unfortunately, my mother, whom I had been taking care of, passed on. So that changed the whatever I intended to do. But also, I'll be going to Italy.
Wow.
I'll be going to Italy because of the religious aspect under the Catholic Church.
Okay. I'm so glad you're not retired, yeah? But you have enough time to really think about retirement, yeah?
True.
What would you really tell somebody who is retired?
What I would tell somebody who has retired is that you have left the active life. That is the life which gives you money per month. But other activities are going on. You are not retired in other activities. You have only retired in getting a salary. Other activities can go on. Embrace them. Don't take to alcohol and substance misuse to hide the reality. If you did not do something during your working time, retirement has reached only in terms of the salary stopping. What you can do positively to contribute to something, do it. It could be a community project. It could be your own household. Do it because you wake up from somewhere, not the street.
Yeah.
So contribute. Don't go and look for alcohol at daybreak and come back in the evening.
Okay.
That is hiding a character.
Okay, and to me you sound like you are semi-retired, not fully retired, yeah?
True, yeah.
So what's your daily routine?
Thank you. My daily routine when I wake up, I make my breakfast. And of course, first, I must shower. I can't get out of the bedroom without showering. So since my bedroom is master in suite, I have got to take to shower and groom accordingly. In case you knocked on my door by 7:30, you'll find somebody who was refreshed and somebody who was already dressed. My office, I don't have a separate study room here, so I use my dining hall. That is where I do my laptop work. I handle all my platforms. For example, I've told you I am on Redbubble. So I go and make the different designs. They normally put them on about 93 items.
We will see them, yeah.
And when we go to the laptop, I'll be able to share with you. For example, they'll put some on mugs, some on t-shirts, some will be put on hats, caps, name them. And of course, different designs of t-shirts, Bolero. I do proposal writing for my CBO, community-based organization, and I'm the founder. We got funding from the German, and we implemented as per the project objectives. Right now, related to my niche of alcohol and substance misuse, I've also subscribed to funds for NGOs, and I do look at what they are advertised from time to time.
Okay.
So far, we've not been lucky to get again after the last funding phase, but we have not given up. And I'm the person who normally does the proposal writing for them. I also do interview people for YouTube. I also do research in order to help me create a story that is user-friendly. User-friendly here, I mean it can reach a broad spectrum and be for the target. That's how I do my days.
Okay.
And of course, the governor of Kakamega, Governor Baraza, keeps on calling former MCS for meetings at least every 3 months.
Okay.
We have just started. And anytime he's in having a meeting, I sometimes team up with them.
Okay.
Team up with them just to get in touch with what is going on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.